So now if we just recap on the simplicity. Each one of you has the tendency to go into question mode. The simplicity is no questions, no answers, no need for questions, no need for answers. So did you feel the slight buzz that happened when I said that? The energy that you brought in doesn't need to be questioned. As soon as you start to question it, you're putting it into a mode that already exists here in the world. This is an energy that does not exist here in the world. You can't question it because the questions are about what's here. It can't give you that answer, so it'll change state to what you've already got. You don't want to do that. Feel its presence and know that what we're talking about now is really dear to its heart. And you can feel a little bit in your heart as I talk about it. Because that's the part where the feedback comes to. That's the part where your heart's desire is met. And the heart's desire that's met is not the one that comes to your brain. It's not the one that you ever know until it appears. And it can't do its work if it has to go through logic. It is nothing like anything that's here. I just got a little bit of objection. I should have said nothing like anything that was here. So it's obviously here and obviously working extremely well. You notice how once we placed the order, we felt it, we introduced, we walked away. That's really important. The freedom of those energies allows them to work. Just like yourself. Your freedom allows you to work. The good example is trying to remember somebody's name. I was just given the example before. Couldn't remember Marsha's name. As soon as I tried, it kept going away. That was an indicator for me to tell you that that's exactly how the energies work. As soon as you push them, they'll stop. Walk away with total confidence and a feeling in your heart that everything's happening. You'll find that you'll get bored with the fact that you only do it once. So you'll know that in that boredom, you have to do something else. And so you'll create more circumstances. You'll create more synchronicities, and you'll create more joy. And you'll walk away from it, and you'll get bored, and you'll do more again. And that will become so fast that you are creating at a massive rate through this new energy. Don't be afraid of it. It goes faster and faster and faster. And your excitement will go up more and more and more. And you'll feel the flow as if it is continuous. But it's just like digital streaming. There's continuous flow of individual data and the continuous flow of individual creation of circumstance, of joy, and everything that you would normally want to question will disappear. In using these new energies, you will find that it will also train you to a point where you're too busy to use your brain. Your brain will be there, doing its thing, looking after your body, which is a bigger entity than what you thought it is. The supercomputer that you've got on board is massive. The ability to draw more intelligence from nowhere increases every second. But remember, it's intelligence, it's not thought. It's know-how, not doing. And it's the relaxation that comes with tremendous ability. It's like the master who doesn't have to do anything because he knows that he's transmitting the whole story to everyone. So we've talked a lot about elevating our frequency, elevating our vibration. It's got nothing on what you're just taking on now. That's why I got you to drink water. Because it's much finer and there is a tremendous influence on the outcome of everything that operates within and around your body. You see, we've gone through the stage of elevating ourselves up to find out where we are and who we are, and going beyond infinity to where we feel totally comfortable. And we've now rebirthed that star to the point where it's starting to show within us again. So we're a whole different being. You look in the mirror, it looks the same, with a few differences. You're not sure what they are. One of them is you smiling. And the other one that I presented a few nights ago is that you're smiling without any difficulties. If you think back what it used to be like, every smile had a difficulty behind it. Every smile had a catch. And there was no stage where we could say, we're not concerned. You'll now see that that's totally different. You'll see that you have no concern. You're just feeling your brilliance. Because you know that that brilliance is all you have to bring. And it melts all concerns. This new energy that you've brought in reflects that whole new being that you are. And you thought you were just the same. you really don't have any problems. The ones that you can find, if you have a good close look at them, they're old. There's nothing new. And they're all things that you know are either disappearing or they'll be gone shortly. And if they're not gone shortly, you're going to kill them. So there is a big difference within each one of you. And the main thing is you're now accelerating very fast. You're accelerating in a way that is entirely different to what you expected. But in a way that's totally comfortable and very simple. So we've introduced you to you in a very subtle way. And we've shown you the first of a major series of unique energies that you're going to bring into this world and into many other worlds, to show that everything runs in a whole different way to what was put in place prior to now. And I keep saying there's a lot more. And you can see each time we step into something that it's just the start. And even your own imagination can see, now that you're feeling the new energy that you've brought into the world, that it's possible to do a lot more. So your own logic is starting to be met. And it won't be long before you have no questions from your brain, because it will see that you're way ahead of it. It will see that your intelligence is held elsewhere, and that you're using that infinite intelligence in a way that can't be determined by the simple brain that we think is our source. Now that I've gone through those very, very simple things, you can feel a calmness. That calmness is because the energy you brought in is now settled and totally happy. And it's working at a rate you wouldn't believe. The higher the speed, the more you feel stable. The more you feel no disturbance. And you'll notice that there's a field around you that is not being disturbed. That's a real sign for you for the future. If anything feels unstable, it's because you've turned your engine off and you're starting to slow down and wobble. And as soon as you see that happening, it's only a matter of just switching it back on. Quick focus through all the unique energies that you've brought into the world. Boom, you're back in line. So we're going for the simplicity all the way. All the stuff you've learnt, forget it. And I'll say that over and over and over so that it's flow. The things that other people will learn from you will be like a step through and a flow in the same way you went through. And you will accelerate to the point where all the past has disappeared and it's not needed. It's like when you take off on an aeroplane, you don't need the landing gear down. Everything comes up and you run smoothly. If you happen to go back to where you have to take off again, well, then you use the landing gear. But I don't expect anybody will have to do that. You're all experts at what we're doing now. And you can feel it. And you have no idea what you're doing, but you know you're experts. And I'll do that to you a lot. I'll put you in a place where you've got no idea what you're doing, but you feel you're an expert. And that will happen over and over and over, because there's a tendency for the physical being to go back to the point of greatest training, if you like, so that it knows that it's way out of tune. It's like if you can't play the violin real well, you'll go back to a really screechy sound. And it will tell you immediately you should do something about it. The physical body does the same. And it just means you're slipping. I don't think anybody will do that anymore because it's hard work to slip. Well done. Perfect timing. I don't think anyone here will find themselves in a position where they have to start again. I'm sure of it, actually. The simple next step is to make sure that you don't do whatever you've done before. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's the simplicity of it. Total confidence in everything you do will allow you to make sure that you never have to do what you did before. Ever. Never retrace a step for any reason. And if you've got to walk around in a circle, that's better than retracing a step, because you're still moving forward. Within a week, you'll start to see the results of the work you've just done in bringing in the new energy, that active energy, to recreate your connection to the events that will change your lives in accordance with your heart's desire. The next stage is to bring in the energies that support that throughout the world. That is more difficult than the one you just did, which was right throughout the universe. Because the integration of that process in the world at the moment demands that you're there. So the next step is to bring in the active energies that recognise you so well that they will perform everything you can perform throughout the world. And that's you being everywhere in a big way. Wow. You all knew about that one, didn't you? And it's done. That's brilliant. I thought it'd be hard work. You can feel the buzz straight away. You all knew exactly what you're doing. Fantastic. That's big. So don't be surprised what you see happen from here on. The acceleration of the events throughout the world will go up an enormous amount based on what I just felt. So don't be surprised what you see in the newspapers. And you can put that all to one side if you like, but don't be surprised. That was big. Really good stuff. You're almost to the point where you can sit back and watch the results of your efforts each day, and it will probably be reflected this time by the world. You may even see the news coming out correctly. Your heart's desire is so deep and so magic that each one of you will see something and say, yes, I did that. And it might be on the other side of the world. Yes, that meets what I want. Well, about time. We're getting a lot of feedback as well. Sometimes hard to talk when you get a lot of people talking at the same time. The biggest feedback that's happening is one of respect and in a lot of ways some amazement of how quickly you all knew exactly what you're doing. And you'll notice that you still haven't got a clue, but you can feel it. The part of us that we are now working with is totally separate to our idea of our body or who we are or what we could paint or anything. We've now got something running that is well beyond that awareness. And we can all feel that it's part of us, but it's not stuck inside us. It's an immense part of our being. And it spreads in all directions, everywhere, throughout every space and every time. The big thing that is obvious to everyone is that it's your effort and it's part of you individually. And if you feel out a bit further, you'll know everybody's involved, but it's you separately, that's working with something way beyond anything this earth has really experienced before. So in saying that, I'd like to just expand it a little, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
And you'll feel the density of the energy go up a little bit. You'll feel it a little bit more dense. Good. Okay, we want this to be remembered, so it's got to be felt. That's magic. Thank you. Beautiful. I've just backed off and you're still going. Fantastic. That's great. And we can intensify it a little more. I just want to spread it a bit now. Great. Just feel the uniqueness of your own energy. And feel the movement of that energy around you. And allow it to massage your being. Okay. Now I want you to lighten it up a bit. Good. Get that joy back into it. Great. Bit lighter. Fantastic. That's it. Okay. It's done. Keep it going. Great. So just move yourselves around. Deep breath, get used to it. If there's any pressure around your head, just wipe it away. You don't need any of that. Fantastic. Make it as light as you possibly can. Great, you've all done a lot of work. Don't be surprised if maybe your body feels a bit stiff tomorrow. It's fine. You haven't knocked yourself around. There's just a flow there that your body's not used to. It will start to regenerate a lot of cells, actually. And the youth within you will start to take over. You can't do anything about it. That's one of the byproducts of the active energies. And you won't be able to do anything about it. Sorry. The fun that you feel in playing with what you've just brought into your life, you won't believe. It is fun. And just being able to speak openly about anything and not even have a sense of reaction is such a beautiful thing. That's a byproduct of what you've just done. So don't be surprised if you find you're answering people in a jovial manner where you'd normally be serious. because that's what's going to happen. And you'll think their problems are a joke, because they are. They're really not what they seem. And seriousness hasn't got a chance. Okay, thank you.